Password component. A component for generating temporary passwords. Contributor, APOGEE Information Systems, AISQuickPassword, Backdoor password generating component for Delphi created on September 25, 1996 created by Dennis P. Butler. Purpose. The purpose of this component is to allow a programmer to use password security in a project, but not be restricted by having to come up with a scheme to handle forgotten passwords. This component allows the programmer to make his projects generate temporary passwords for the users of the project. Description: a perpetual problem with passwords is that users often forget their password, leading to many administrative problems. These problems are especially severe if an application is using local tables and being run on a laptop, where an administrator may not easily be able to help the user if they are not at the same location. This component allows the administrator to generate a temporary password based on the login criteria of the user. This password can be good for the entire day or the specific hour, based on the use in the program. The component also allows passwords to be generated for users in a different time zone. For example, if a user in a different time zone than the administrator calls up wanting a backdoor password for themselves, especially if the hourly password option is chosen, then the hour offset in the time zone hours field can accommodate this and produce a correct password for the user's machine. Using the component. Use of this component assumes that there are at least two types of people who will be using the system: ordinary users and administrators. Only administrators have the ability to generate backdoor passwords for users. In a typical application, there is a login screen to enter the system. Using the AISQuickPassword component, the application would fill in the information for the username property based on the login, the sort method property, and the length password property. The programmer would include in the login screen a call to validate password with the password entered as a parameter. If the password entered is the temporary password, the program can allow them to enter the system or take whatever steps is then appropriate for the application. On the administrator end, they would have access to a form where only they would be able to make calls to the create method. Key properties: username, string. This is the string criteria unique to each user. It can be a username, user ID, etc., but generally should be the same string that is used to log into the system, so that the strings will be the same on the user and administrator machines. Sort method: stdate only, stdate hour, defines whether the password generated will be valid for an entire day or the current hour. Length password, integer, length of the resulting password. Time zone hours, integer, number of hours away from the administrator that the user is at. Default is 0. For time zones with an earlier time than the administrator, use a negative number. Note that the first three properties must be identical on the user and administrative program's methods. Create password, based on the username, sort method, and password length. A unique password is returned. Validate password, based on the password passed to the function. A Boolean value of true or false will be returned on whether the password is correct for the username, sort method, and password length. Any feedback, comments, etc. are welcome. Please reply to Butler at APOGEEIS.com. Copyright 1996. APOGEE Information Systems, Unit QuickPassword. Interface uses SYS utils, WinTypes, WinProcs, messages, classes, graphics, controls, forms, dialogues, st-date only. Password is comprised of date only, good for entire day. St-date hour. Password is comprised of date and hour, good for current hour only. Type T sort type equals st-date only st-date hour. AISQuickPW equals class, T component, private. Username, string, F sort method, T sort type, F length password, integer, F time zone hours, integer, function return PW. Creating password, Boolean, string, function is valid selections, Boolean, private declarations protected declarations public constructor create, A owner T component, override, destructor destroy, override, function create password, string, function validate password, p-word, string, Boolean, public declarations published username must be identical on user and administrator ends property username, string read username write username, property sort method, T sort type read F sort method write F sort method. The longer the length password property is, the more secure the password property. Length password, integer read F length password write F length password. The number of hours away, plus or dash, of the user's time zone. 0 is default property. Time zone hours, integer read F time zone hours write F time zone hours. Published. Declarations and procedure register, implementation constructor. AISQuickPW.create, A owner T component, begin inherited create, A owner, and destructor AISQuickPW.destroy, begin inherited destroy, and procedure register, begin register components, APOGEE, AISQuickPW, and this function generates the password function AISQuickPW.returnPW, creating password, boolean, string, var password, string, passbasis, real, name multiplier, current hour, day adjustment, integer, this date. T-date time, const multiplier equals 0.092292080396. Random multiplier, this ensures that a fraction will result. Begin day adjustment equals 0, this date equals date, current hour equals str2int, format date time, h this date, if length, username, 3 then name multiplier equals ord, username 1, plus ord, username 2, plus ord, username 3, else name multiplier equals 13, if username is less than 3 digits. Use temp number if creating password, then only adjust time based on time zone difference if creating password. Validifying passwords is done at user end, where time zone difference is basis for creation of password on administrator end. In this case no time adjustment is needed. Begin if current hour plus time zone hours 23 then begin current hour equals current hour 24, day adjustment equals 1, and else if current hour plus time zone hours, begin current hour equals 24 plus current hour, day adjustment equals -1, and this date equals this date plus day adjustment, and if fsort method equals stDateHour then name multiplier equals name multiplier plus current hour, multiply name dependent number by date dependent number to get a unique value for every day of the year for each user. Multiply this by a random multiplier, const value, to ensure that a fraction always results. Take f-length password digits of fraction as the final password. Note that if the fractional portion works out to less digits than f-length password, a password with less digits than f-length password will result. Program will still create /validate passwords normally. Passbasis equals name multiplier asterisk str2int, format date time, yyyy this date, /str2int, format date time, d this date, asterisk str2int, format date time, m this date, asterisk multiplier, password equals copy, flow to str, pass basis, trunc, pass basis, 3f length password, result equals password, and function AISQuickPW is valid selections, boolean, begin result equals false, if username, and fsort method equals stDateHour, or fsort method equals stDateOnly, and flength password 0, then result equals true, and function AISQuickPW.createPassword, string, var new pw, string, begin result equals, default if error if is valid selections then begin new pw equals return pw, true, result equals new pw, and function AISQuickPW.validatePassword, pword, string, boolean, begin result equals false, default if error if is valid selections then if return pw, false, equals pword then result equals true else result equals false, and